On October 20th, 2021, in Henderson, North Carolina, 18-year-old Rachel and her boyfriend Chris were invited to stay with Jake and Autumn, a couple that they were friends with. Jake and Autumn's home was only a couple hundred yards away, so they walked there that evening. Once they arrived to the couple's home, they had some dinner, played some games, and chatted into the night. At some point in the evening, Rachel realized that she had forgotten her phone charger at home. She would then ask Chris to go get it for her. At first, Chris was hesitant and refused. It was now dark outside, and with the darkness came a nocturnal creature that was part of local lore. A large black panther with blazing eyes and sharp claws waited in the bush to jump out and maul an unexpected victim. After some convincing and an offer from Jake to accompany him, they set off into the darkness, armed with a shotgun and a 9mm pistol to retrieve the phone charger. Many tense moments would go by with each man pointing their guns in front of them while walking to the next home. The only thing that could be heard is the sound of their own breathing and the crunching of the leaves under their feet. They both breathed a sigh of relief after arriving at the home. Chris quickly retrieved the phone charger, and they started their trek back to the other house. Again, they set off into the darkness on high alert, with tight chests and short breaths. Their eyes would dart back and forth, searching for any sign of movement, not speaking a word so they could listen for any sound of a rustle or break of a twig. Moments felt like hours as they made the trek through the darkness, neither of them being able to shake the overwhelming sense of vulnerability. 3/4 of the way through their journey it happened. They saw the movement. They heard the growl. They heard a twig snap and their heads jerked. Their eyes settled on the dark creature in the bush. They steadied their weapons and fired. The hideous beast was dead. The young men did not hear a giggle. They heard a growl. And they just knew that the twig that had snapped was under the huge paw of a black panther. And their eyes interpreted the movement in the bush as a prowler ready to attack. They unloaded their weapons until they heard a young woman screaming. The screams were coming from Autumn. Rachel's friend Jake had shot her dead with his 9mm pistol. At some point during the journey, the young women thought that it would be funny if they hid in a bush and pelted the young men with expired eggs as they came back up the path, in their own way mocking the men's paranoia and fear. As they ducked down and moved into position, one of them snapped a twig, and they both giggled in anticipation. Whether the existence of a large cat in that area was ever true, we'll never know. What we do know is that because of the paranoia that existed, mixed with the poor decision to hide in the bushes and prank two men carrying firearms, led to the tragic death of 18-year-old Rachel Buchanan. No charges were filed, and this killing was ruled a tragic accident. Her obituary reads, "Always had a smile on her face and never met a stranger. Rest in peace."